there's a new survey out from Magnify Money. No clue who that is. Shout out to them. Outsourced all of our research to Magnify Money. They showed that 59% of Gen Z traders have admitted to trading while drunk. That's correct. You heard me right. 59% of Gen Z traders have admitted to trading while drunk. Now that sounds really, really bad. That number falls to 32% when accounting for all US traders of every age. So 32% of traders across all age groups in the United States claim that they've traded while drunk. 59% of Gen Z says they have traded while drunk. We have a quote from the Addiction Center, which they're not biased at all, says, the app's simplicity and graphic design make trading feeling like gaming. The platform has drawn in young investors by presenting complex financial instruments like a fun game. Unfortunately, financial experts believe that instead of helping users, the app is purposefully downplaying trading risks. They suspect it to be a method to get their users hooked to their platform. So what people are saying, the Addiction Center, they're blaming the software developers. They're saying, oh, it's your fault. Nonsense. I don't agree. The rest of the survey, there's an emotional investing by generation chart here that basically shows on the left, regret an investment decision based on impulse or emotion. Gen Z, 85% of Gen Z says they regret making an investment decision based on impulse or emotion. Baby boomers are still 54%. So over half, one of two baby boomers still does the same exact thing. They bought or sold an investment while drunk, 59% for Gen Z, baby boomers all the way down at 9%. Not sure if that's because baby boomers don't drink or they don't drink and trade. Lost sleep worrying about the stock market or investments, 58% of Gen Z, baby boomers only 18%. And then cried about investing. Cried, literally tears. 54% of soft-ass Gen Z says they cried about investing. What is going on in Gen Z? I don't know what the age brackets are, but if you're crying over investing, you're soft. Sorry.
They're drunk, they're emotional.
Yeah, you're drunk, you're emotional, and you're crying. Like, Jesus Christ, get it together, kids. Let's go. No crying in baseball, no crying in the stock market. And baby boomers only 8%. What is interesting, though, is still Gen X and millennials are over 30%, 39%. There's a lot of crying, a lot of softies out there, I guess, in the financial markets. Get it together. We don't need to hear about your nonsense. Next chart. Have you ever made an investment decision based on emotion or impulse that you later regretted? 34% of people said no. Liars. There's no way this is true. 34% of people claim that they've never regretted an investment decision based on emotion or impulse. Remember, emotion and impulse could be positive or negative. Could be I regret it because I was scared or nervous and I sold something. Could be because I was exuberant, I was excited. I've made investment decisions because I was excited. I met a founder. It was amazing. Awesome. Let's go. You're going to go take on the world. You're going to disrupt everything. And I said, you know what? I want to invest in that business. I can't stop thinking about it. And it ends up being a dud. Well, if it's a dud, then yeah, of course I regret it. Like I wish that I hadn't invested in it. But hey, you move on, you live, you learn. 34%, no way that is the only number of people who regret their investment decisions. Next, emotional investing. How consumers who self-manage their portfolio compare to those who use a financial advisor. Oh yeah, here we go. 71% of people who manage their own money say they regret an investment decision. 59% who managed by a financial advisor say that. Well, who wrote this? A financial advisor? They struggle to keep emotions out of investing decisions. Actually pretty close, both self-managed or with a financial advisor. And then lost sleep worrying about the stock market and investments. Again, 34%. It's actually much closer than you would think. But I think a financial advisor probably paid for the study. Kidding. But it looks very good for financial advisors. And then lastly, which of these emotions has investing ever caused you to feel excited or stressed? Pretty interesting when you see this chart in terms of the excited versus the stressed, because what it shows is exuberance is actually experienced more than the negative ones. Most people would think of emotion being, oh, I'm scared, I'm nervous, I'm stressed, I'm fearful, I'm angry, I'm depressed, all those things, but actually not. Excited. Getting people to FOMO into things is much more. What do we think about the idea that 59% of Gen Z traders said that they've traded Bitcoin while drunk? Is that surprising?
Yeah, I think it's probably a little surprising, but
The report is right in the instance that markets have been gamified to a degree, right? But I also think that's been an extremely positive thing for the industry. It's getting more people interested in investing from an earlier age than ever before. So millions of accounts are being opened up across all of these newer brokerages that we've seen at a faster rate than ever before. And what we're seeing is younger people are interested in investing. So it's a little scary when you think that the stock market doesn't open till the morning, right? And people are drunk trading then. I don't necessarily know if they're specifically talking about crypto or other assets, but that's a little concerning. I think the study is a little questionable, though. I find it very, 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 very difficult to believe 50% of people are crying over their investments.
Crying like babies.
Yeah, I've never met or heard of someone physically crying.
You never cried?
No, I've never cried.
I thought when Roku hit 10x, you were crying.
Out of excitement?
Yeah.
I might have done some dances, but no crying. No.
One of my favorite questions I've ever asked on the podcast is I asked Mark Cuban what he did when he became a billionaire. And he said that he got naked, did a happy dance, put his clothes back on, and went back to work. So, like, there's emotion involved for sure.
Yeah, but he wasn't crying.
No, he wasn't crying. Well, I mean,
the guy made $1 billion.
Yeah, of course. but I do think that there's a point about Wall Street. You're telling me that 59% of Wall Street traders haven't been at work drunk on cocaine or Adderall?
Impaired.
That's a good word. Impaired. Come on. You're telling me that 59% is not the same thing? The more things change, the more they stay the same. There's no way you're going to tell me that it's not a very, very high percentage. Maybe it's not 59, maybe it's 53%. I don't know. But I'm willing to bet that hungover, drunk, on cocaine or Adderall, very high percentage of folks on Wall Street did it at least once. I'm not saying every day. I'm not saying they're a drug addict. I'm not saying that they are literally doing it every single day, coming in smelling like booze. But what I am saying is that almost every single trader on Wall Street, I have to guess, at some point, whether it was in their 20s or later after a big night, whatever, hungover, drunk, on cocaine or Adderall. Maybe even they smoke weed. I don't know. But I don't know if that would help them.
I would think these numbers would be higher for crypto just based off of the trading hours, right?
So that's what I think the big difference here is, right? To be clear, is the stock market is closed obviously at the end of the afternoon, right? Or kind of early evening. And so when you close the stock market, you can't trade when you go get drunk. I'm talking about literally people being during the day, during the stock market
if you're
hours
drunk
being
before 4
open.
p.m. in the office, like that's a big deal.
Well, some of these people aren't in the office, but yeah.
Some of them aren't in the office. But remember, if you are going to lunch and you get a beer, right, at lunch, and then you go back to the office and you're trading, you're not drunk, but you've been drinking and you're trading. How many people would have to say yes to that, right? So again, the more things change, the more they stay the same. It is a shocking number because it's presented as they're trading while drunk. But if you think about it as impaired, yes, I'm willing to bet actually a very high percentage of people. I mean, just take Adderall alone. How many people on Wall Street who were at home when they were young, watched Limitless, and then thought they were going to be the next, genius of Wall Street, and started taking Adderall? Like it's a high percent. I don't know what the percentage is. It's not 0. It's not 1%. So you start to add this stuff up. I do think that it's much more similar than we probably would guess. But don't trade drunk. If you're a kid or an adult, don't trade drunk. Like, it's not that hard. Crypto and Bitcoin markets are open 24/7, 365. So actually, you need to be more thoughtful because you could trade if you were drunk, but don't do it.
How do you think about some of these platforms that have popped up, the SoFis and all of these that have not necessarily, I wouldn't say they're a game, but they've gamified markets to some degree, right? They've added, it's very simple to invest, low minimums, commission free. There's a social aspect to it, so you can tie in your trades, you can follow other people, you can see what they're actively investing in and doing all these things. So it makes it more educational, but also more fun. How do you think that impacts things like this, that it seems like younger generations are trading more, they're potentially getting drunk while they're doing it, whatever it is?
I don't think that the negative outweighs the positive. The access to markets, the totality of wealth creation, all the positive side effects of, let's just call it technology platforms drastically reducing the barrier to entry for young people. I think the positives drastically outweigh the negative side effects. And again, it goes back to there's no difference, right? I'm not going to sit here and say people who take Adderall on Wall Street are any different than a kid who sits at home and takes Adderall. I'm not going to say that anybody who drinks a beer at lunch is any different than a kid who drinks a beer on a Friday night and trades, right? Again, if you want to do it, knock yourself out. I'm not here to judge anybody. Like, whatever, knock yourself out. But what I am here to say is the presenting of it as, oh, it's the software platform's fault. I just don't agree with, right? If you think, again, the software platforms are here to provide tools, but ultimately this is human nature. What percentage of Americans get impaired at all?
Yeah.
Probably higher than 59%, right? So if you think about it, actually more people get drunk and don't trade than people who get drunk and trade.
No, well, what they want.
Right. So think about it. If you present it that way, all of a sudden you're like, oh, wow, good job, guys. Like you got drunk and didn't trade, right?
Yeah.
No, but like that's ridiculous. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching that clip of the Best Business Show. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you know when we go live every weekday, and then head to SoFi.com/pomp so that you can get an account and we can get after it.